Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my April book haul. I know we're literally in August. But the thing that had happened is that I was doing quarterly book hauls, but then I was buying way too many books. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not. Just a little bit, but I was buying so many books that if I would have done a Q2 book haul, it would have been just too much. And because it was going to be too much, I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. So I came to the conclusion that I want to do monthly book hauls and ebook hauls. So stay tuned for my April ebook haul. And I was thinking maybe not to do these because, I mean, they were books that I bought all the way in April. I was like, well, I kind of want to show these books off. I still want to have them on my channel. Book hauls are really fun to watch. So I said, fuck it. So stay tuned for May, June, July, August, etc. until we are all caught up. This April one is not too large. The next couple of months they get a little bit larger, but let's just jump right into it. These are all the books that I purchased in the month of April. First book that I ended up getting in the month of April was The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. Rebecca Yarros has been popping off, especially for her book Fourth Wing, but I have been hearing about The Last Letter for the longest, and I mean longest time. I actually think I saw The Books I've Loved raving about this book and literally sobbing her eyes out, and I decided to pick it up. I believe I found this at half price. Yeah, I did find this at half price. Literally, the receipt is still in the book. Have I read this book? No, but also I ended up finding it signed with a little book plate, so I thought that was pretty cool. And this book has been on my radar for so long, so when I saw it and it was signed, I decided to pick it up. It was super cheap. I mean, there's a letter in the back, y'all. I feel like this is gonna be sad, and it has to do with like army relationships. So I will say that it is an emotional read, and I'm hoping that it makes me cry, to be honest. Moving on, I ended up getting Barbarian Alien as well as Ice Planet Barbarians in the new Berkeley publisher covers. I ended up finding these at half price as well. I believe I found a lot of these at half price. I did read this series, I believe up to book 13, and that's where I kind of burnt out and I never went back. But I am loving the new covers that Berkeley is coming out with, so I decided to start collecting them, and mostly collecting them from half price at a really decent price. So this is the first book. I believe this is the second book right here, and I'm excited to get back into them and annotate them and just get back into the Ice Planet Barbarian world because I had so much fun when I was binging them. This is the closest that I could find and could get to Avatar. So yeah, I have these two books to add to my collection. Another book that I found at half price was The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. I actually have read up to The Architect in this series by Nikki Sloan, and I've read them all on ebook. So when I saw The Doctor at half price, I knew I had to have it. This is a 4-star read for me, I believe. I do want to reread it, so that's why another reason why I picked it up. This is an age gap. Oh yeah, I forgot. Nikki Sloan signed this for me when I saw her at a Polycon. This is an age gap ex-boyfriend's father romance, and Nikki Sloan, she knows how to do it with a smut, so I know that the first time that I read this, I really loved it, and I can't wait to reread it. Next up, I have the alternative cover for Heartless. This was actually a gift from my book bestie, Janelle. She is so sweet. She gifted me the alternative cover for Heartless because she knows how much I love Heartless. It is, till this day, my favorite book out of the Chestnut Springs series. This is a single dad nanny romance. Cowboy Cade will always be my book husband, and I have been wanting to collect all of these, and I had the couple cover, but I have yet to have the alternative cover, and she was so sweet to send this to me. I did put her on to Elsie Silver, so that's what she wrote in her note as a thank you. I thought it was just so sweet that she was thinking of me, and she ended up getting this for me, and she really just completed my collection, to be honest. I don't know if this one is still available. I don't know if the alternative cover for Heartless is still available because they're slowly being taken off Amazon because this series did get picked up by a publisher. So if it is, you guys need to go get your hands on it right now because these alternative covers are stunning. I love it so much. I need to reread this. I feel like I'm gonna say that about a lot of the books, but I need to reread this because Cade is just daddy. He is just daddy. I ended up finding Promises and Pomegranates at half price. I ended up picking this up because I thought that I was gonna see Salvar Miller at a Polycon, and I just never ended up seeing her. I have read this before. I can't remember if I gave it 3 or 4 stars. So this is a book that I do want to reread. It is a mafia romance, kind of a Hades and Persephone retelling. I remember parts that I enjoyed, and the covers for the series are absolutely stunning. So I want to continue the series since I only read this one. I don't know why I didn't continue it. Maybe I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to, or I honestly don't know. But when I saw it, I decided to pick it up, and this is going to be a reread for me as well. Next up, I ended up finding The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata at half price, so I decided to pick it up. These are super cheap at half price. Whenever I find a Mariana Zapata book, I pick it up. I buy it because they're like $20+ on Amazon because they're chunky books, so rightfully so. This is a lot of people's favorite Mariana Zapata book. I haven't read anything by her, and I'm excited to get into this. I am just kind of intimidated just because look how thick they are, and I know that Mariana Zapata is changing the covers, I think because she got picked up by a publisher as well, and I like the new covers. I think they're cute. They're coming out very cartoonish, but they have non-sticker circle on it stating that is a new cover with like bonus content, which is cool and all, but I wish I would be able to remove it. So I'm trying to slowly collect her OG covers for her books, but I need to read one of her books before I buy any more because I have so many books of her backlist and I have yet to read any of them. And imagine if I hate it. Imagine. I don't think I will. At least I don't usually go into books thinking that I will hate them, but yeah, I definitely prefer her OG covers, and I can't wait to read my first Mariana Zapata book. These next 4 books were actually the books in my Dark and Quirky subscription box. I believe this was the first book box for 2023. It came with 4 books. It came with Painted Scars by Neva Altaj. This is a small novella. It has black sprayed edges. I love, and I mean, I absolutely love the cover for this. I love the woman on the cover. I love the back tattoo, the black with the white roses. Gorgeous. But when I read this book, I believe I gave it 3 stars. I do want to reread it before I get rid of it because I kind of want to get rid of it just because it's a novella. I always forget, but it comes with like the name plate and it comes with the art. And I think the art is mostly what I want to reread it for. I mean, I remember enjoying it, but I just didn't love it. So if I only enjoyed it, like why keep it? I feel like somebody else would appreciate this book on their shelves more than I would. So I want to reread it before I decide whether or not I'm gonna get rid of it because it is a stunning cover. Like, it's stunning. So that was the first one. Next up, there's Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. This is absolutely beautiful. Have I read it? I have not, but I've heard a lot of my book friends say that they loved this book. I did hear that the audiobook is trash, so I definitely will be reading it physically or on my Kindle, but I loved this cover. I think this one might be, I mean, it's a toss-up. They're just so pretty. I can't really choose a favorite, but this is what it looks like. It has the gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous, blue sprayed edges with the gold, and like I believe the hero is an architect, so there's like architect things on the back with like the sparkle and the city. It's just beautiful. I think Dark and Quirky does an amazing job at a lot of their books. Again, it comes with a nameplate and it came with this little art, and I can't wait to read it. Next up, this was my least favorite in this box just because I wanted something different, but I know a lot of people love it. I have contemplated getting rid of it just because it's not my favorite, but it is my favorite book out of the entire Red Zone Rival series. This is Blind Side by Candy Steiner. Yeah, so that was the cover. That's the spine. This is the back, and it has the gorgeous green sprayed edges. I don't know, you guys. This cover just doesn't speak to me. I do love that they used the girl from like the marketing that they did for Blindside. Like, it's the same girl. Like, this is Gianna, but I hate the flowers. I just don't understand it. Like, I do, but at the same time I don't. Like, I get the football. I don't get the flowers. I get the book at the bottom. I wish if they would have just blown up the heroine on the cover and like made it really pretty. Like, I don't know, maybe would have done some bookish like things like in the background. Okay, I'm not a cover designer, but I wanted more from this, especially because it is my favorite book and it's just not my favorite overall cover. So I am still iffy on whether I'm going to be keeping this or not. Like also the back is just, it's just so underwhelming. Like I don't get Candy Steiner's alternative covers. I know, which I'm being such a hypocrite, but because of this other book that I have here, but I just don't understand them. They're not my favorite. I prefer her mail covers. Like her mail covers, she knows how to do her mail covers. I love every single one. Like they're so good. Yeah, this is not my favorite, but this was the third book in that box. As for the last book in that dark and quirky box, it was Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is gonna be my what? I believe this is like my third copy of Heartless by Elsie Silver, but I really do love this. This is not at all what I pictured Willa to look like, so that threw me off, but I really love the horses and the overall, I want to say old-timey like vibe, like the sepia color. Here's the spine, and then there's more horses in the back, and the beautiful like pinkish braid edges. They're just absolutely beautiful, and this is my favorite book in the series so far, so I will never be getting rid of this, because even though it's not like blow my mind cover, like I still like, there's no way I'm getting rid of this. This is like absolutely beautiful. Like I just love this book so much. Now, I was saying I was such a hypocrite because I did find Fair Catch at half price and I ended up buying it, and this is the alternative cover. But the main reason why I ended up getting it was because, one, again, like I said, once you see Candy Steiner at half price, you have to get it anyways because it's super cheap. But I got the alternative cover because if my friends ever decide they want to read it, I'm not going to give them my men covers because those are precious to me. Like, hell no. Like, if I give them one and they so happen to ruin it or give it back to me in some other state than what I gave it to them in, it's fine because I don't like this cover anyways. But also, if I ever do decide to reread this series, I think that I would reread it in this cover. That way I can annotate it and such. At least that's my reasoning. That's it. Yeah, Fair Catch. I ended up buying it in April. I'm trying to decide, should I annotate the men covers or should I annotate the ugly covers? I just don't want to ruin my men covers. You know what I mean? So if I do annotate, it just might be these. Last book for this April book haul, I ended up getting the collector's edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I bet you guys have seen this everywhere. This is the spine, this is the back, and then this is the spine of the book, and then you take out the book. This is the front cover. It's stunning, and I love this series. This was my first intro to fantasy romance. Sarah J. Maas really opened up the world of reading for me, and I really wanted to get the collector's edition ACOTAR. So this is the back with the wolf. So when you open it, you get like that infamous scene. I hope you guys can tell where she's like pointing the arrow to the wolf. This is what the end papers look like. It's just overall really pretty. The pages are really thin. Like, look at this beautiful ass map. And then the chapter headings look like this. And then all the pages have like the art at the edges. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful, and I wanted to own it. I do want to get the Throne of Glass collector's edition, but I told myself I wouldn't get it until I actually reread Throne of Glass. ACOTAR I've read through and through, and it's one of my all-time favorite series, so I had to get this collector's edition. So that was the last book that I ended up getting in the month of April. Let me know if you guys read any of these books or which one you thought was the prettiest, coolest, whatever you guys want to comment down below. I would love to hear. If you guys don't want to comment any of that, then go ahead and comment a rose emoji for ACOTAR, since it was the last book that I talked about. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.